What is up, YouTube? JankyYGO here. My name is Michael, and we got some zombie support to talk about. Some zombie world support, some just zombie support in general. And so, without further ado, let's jump into what each and all of these cards do. We got Mad Murderer. That name will definitely be changed for the TCG, but what does it do? It's a level 2 zombie tuner effect monster. 400 attack, 200 defense. And its effect says you can only use its second effect once per turn. Its first effect states its name becomes Plague Spreader Zombie while on the field or in the graveyard. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target one level 6 or higher monster you control, decrease its level by 2, and if you do, special summon this card. But you can't special summon monsters while it is face up in the monster zone, except for zombies. Okay, as far as the Plague Spreader retrains go, this one's probably the best. It's really, really good. Plague Spreader, I think, is a little bit better, but I still think that this is not that bad. Its downside is pretty negligible. You can build your deck around that pretty easily, especially because it doesn't restrict you to zombie types for the rest of the turn period. It's just as long as this card's on the field. So you can easily synchro it off into a zombie monster. But yeah, pretty cool card. Not terrible. Best Plague Spreader retrain we've gotten, kind of. The cards that count like this, because this isn't the first, but this is the only one I'd consider playable that isn't, actually. Then we got Ghoul Mazera, or Mazera, the level 8 Earth Zombie effect monster with 2800 attack and 2300 defense. Its first and second effects are hard once per turn each. If a zombie monster you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish this from your hand or graveyard instead. If this card becomes banished, you can special summon it in defense position. Then you can decrease its level by 1. Okay. Not only does this protect your cards from being destroyed, it also summons itself in defense position where it is slightly more vulnerable, but I still think this is a pretty good card. I like I can imagine someone playing it, and if someone played this on me, I really wouldn't be too upset. Because you can just banish it from your hand and then it summons itself. That's really cool. It's like a way to kind of go around stuff because if it's banished from your hand or graveyard, which meets its activation condition, that's one way to do it. The downside is this card isn't dark. If this card was dark, this card would be pure like this card would be so good because you could just Allure of Darkness it and then get it summoned as a level 7, and it could just be this like really good engine and everything like that. And it is a level 8. I don't know. Most zombie decks aren't playing level 8, so trade-ins are not an option. But if more zombie decks start playing level 8s for cards like this, it could definitely be an option. Pretty cool card. We're gonna move on to the level 10, which is Red Eyes Zombie Dragon Lord. It is a level 10 zombie synchro effect monster, 2800 attack, 2400 defense, requires a zombie tuner and then one or more non-tuner monsters. If this card, or you can only use the first and second effects of this card once per turn. During your opponent's turn, you can target one zombie in your graveyard except for itself and special summon it. If this card is in your graveyard, you can banish one zombie monster you control, special summon the card. I think this card is also pretty good because it also works with our level 8 that we just saw. So if we get away to summon our level 8, from, like, say we ditch it to the graveyard with like Unizombie and then we use Mizuki to bring it back, and then we Plague Spreader and not actually use Mad Murder, just then we can make this, and then we can bring back any zombie from our graveyard to keep synchro summoning if we want to. If we don't want to, that's fine because it itself is pretty good. It's not something you want to end your board on, but it is a decent card. Really cool card. As it's during your opponent's turn. That's kind of the actually that's yeah. You can't keep synchro summoning with it unless we get a card that says we get a special or we get a synchro summon on our opponent's turn, a zombie one specifically. I know Chris Strons and Yang Zings do that. But this is still a cool card nonetheless, in my opinion, especially for this second effect. Then we got Giant or Corpse Dragon Lord Felgrand. So Felgrand died. This is the corpse of it. It's a level 8 light zombie effect synchro effect with 2800 attack, 2800 defense, and requires a zombie plus one or more non-2 monsters. Its first and second effects are hard once per turn each. At this card's special summon, you can target one monster your opponent controls or in their graveyard and banish it. That's pretty good. If a monster is special summoned from your graveyard while this face-up card is on the field, you can target one monster on the field except for this card, negate its effects until the end of the turn. That's really good too. Zombies are all about coming back from the graveyard, and this works well with the other card. So you summon something back while this card's already on the field, and then you get a negate an effect. It's kind of awkward timing because if the monster's effect is already activated, you're not going to get to negate that effect. You gotta negate whatever their card possibly that they're summoning after that. Or if there's just like this really like awkward timing you have to do it. That's a downside of this. Other than that though, it's not bad. And if this card is special summon, so let's say you summon it back from the graveyard with your Red Eyes Zombie, Zombie Dragon Lord, then you get to banish a card as well. Cool card. Cool. Very cool. Really I like this deck, or I like the synergy between these cards. It's pretty sweet. Then we got the Immortal Dragon, which is a level 6 Dark Zombie Synchro Tuner. Okay. Effect monster with 500 attack, 2400 defense, 1 tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner monsters. Its first and second effects of this card are hard once per turn. During your main phase, you can send one zombie monster from your deck, and if you do, this card's level becomes the difference between its original level and the sent. When your zombie monster is destroyed by battle, while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. This card is also pretty cool. It's a foolish burial for zombies. And it does equal to the difference, meaning that like if we were to say send a Mizuki, it would make itself a level 2. That's pretty cool. Zombies are pretty easy at getting to level 6s, at least like the generic package is pretty easy, especially if you're playing Plague Spreader. If you send Plague Spreader with this becomes level 4. So if you send the level like the level 8 that we talked about earlier, this actually becomes a level 2 as well because it's equal to the difference. So that's kind of cool. I like this card. It's interesting to see how people will use these effects. Then we got Zombie Reborn. It's a normal spell card that says its first and second effects can only be used once per turn and only once that turn, so you gotta choose which one you want. Target one zombie in either graveyard, banish one monster with the same name from your deck or extra deck, and if you do, special summon the targeted monster. If this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon or you can shuffle one of your banished zombies from or into your deck, and if you do, you set this card on the field, but you banish it on the field. So, as the name suggests, it's a monster reborn for zombies, but so what will you be using this for? In mirror matches, you can summon off your opponent's stuff, or other zombie mirror matches, because zombies tend to play a lot of overlapping cards anyway. But as far as it's mainly for mirror matches if you're going to summon from your opponent's graveyard and that's your whole plan. But summoning from your graveyard, it makes sense. With cards like these, you kind of want to play like 2 or 3 of. They are extenders. And on top of that, you want to play like a deck that's full of 3-ofs when you play this, so you don't mind banishing a card. Also worth mentioning, if you want to summon, you can target a for one of your zombies in your graveyard. You can target one of your Shiranois and summon that back, and then banish one with the same name, and then get its effect to pop a card or get its banish effect too. So that's something really cool you can do. But yeah, Zombie Reborn, pretty good card. I like it. I would say you could probably end up playing it. Then for our last card, we got Haunted Zombie. It's a normal trap card. You can only use one of the first and second effects of this card's name per turn, and only once a turn. Again, you gotta choose which one you want to activate in a turn. So, its field effect states: banish one zombie that has a level from either graveyard, and if you do, you special summon haunted tokens with the same level as that monster. So, 0 attack, 0 defense. That its graveyard effect says if this card is in your graveyard, you can shuffle one of your banished zombies into the deck, and if you do, set this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. So I think that this card's graveyard effect is much better. The graveyard effect is much better on a card like this than it is on the normal spell card. Because with card like this, you can activate it during your opponent's turn to set it like during their end phase or something like that. Or alternatively, you can activate this, banish a zombie, summon 2 tokens, stop yourself from getting OTK'd, and then banish this from your graveyard during your turn to shuffle in a zombie, set this back, and then on your opponent's turn, you can do it again. Stop yourself, make 2 blockers, hopefully stop yourself from getting OTK'd if your opponent doesn't have any kind of negates. That's the good thing about this card. Another thing what you can do is hopefully if you're not going to worry about getting OTK'd, maybe you're playing a little bit more casual, then what you do is on your turn, you activate Banish the zombie, get the 2 tokens, synchro off with them, and then on your opponent's turn, activate this card to set it on their end phase so you can keep using the tokens and doing stuff like that and keep synchro summoning and getting free tokens to summon or link summon because the tokens don't restrict you. But that is going to do it for this video. If it is your birthday today, happy birthday. And if you want to send me any cool deck profiles or replays, JankyYGO at gmail.com is where to send them. We have a Discord server. It's not very active, unfortunately, but we were trying to get a card trooper tournament firing. It is in the description down below. And of course, and as always, have a wonderful day.